welcome you all to Trek Wars.
What would you think if I told you that the Oberth Class, the Federation science ship, had a secret that very few people knew? And I'm going to tell you that secret. And once you learn that secret, you'll know that the Oberth Class isn't the laughingstock of the Federation like you thought it was. Imagine if I told you that not only is this ship not the laughingstock that I thought it was, or that you thought it was, but it was one of the most effective defensive starships that the Federation had ever designed. And it might actually be the prequel to the Defiant. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to show you how and why. Alright, so to keep it really simple, I want you to think about the Oberth Class, and I want you to think about some of the mission-specific ships you see like on the Nebula, where you can have different modules you can change out to do different mission-specific roles. And I want you to think about the Oberth Class and think about it in those same contexts. This was probably the first Federation starship that I'm aware of that had mission-specific module pods to be built onto the design in order to change the mission profile. So, as you can see, this ship was designed with different modules, many different modules. Some are for carrying civilians, obviously for going to planets and dropping people off in colonization. Others are fuel, and then obviously the Oberth that we all know is designed with a very, very powerful sensor array, which is designed to do planetary survey. It's designed to specifically to get information and data from anomalies and things of that nature. Alright, so the Oberth is obviously a mission profile starship built in the Kirk-era, and so there is obviously a defensive version of this ship, which we're going to talk about. Now, what I have done for you guys is I have broken down an entire manual of data for all of the Kirk-era starships. And now I know just about everything about those ships when it comes to their defenses, when it comes to their speed, when it comes to their shields, when it comes to their shield regeneration rates. I have a crap load of data that I have gone through for you guys. Alright, so to keep you guys real, this video basically here is going to introduction to the videos that are going to be coming up. It's going to be a series about Kirk-era starships. And obviously, we're going to be talking about the Oberth Class. We're going to be talking about the Jester, the Orca, and the Oberth. I'm going to tell you a little secret about them. The data tables I have, there is another secret that I have to tell you about mega phasers, which I really, really don't want to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyways. But you'll have to wait till the next video. So, some of the things that you're going to find out with my secret formulas, which I'll share with you guys, is obviously the classes of the ships. What they are. Are they a destroyer? Are they a PT cruiser? Are they a command cruiser? Such. You'll find the index of the shields. You'll find the refreshment rate, which is really important on the shields. You'll find out the shield power overall. You'll find out the hull value of each and every ship. You'll find out how many weapon slots they have, phasers, mega phasers, torpedoes. You will know their full weapons power output. You will know the conversion rates from the actual manual to the Star Trek universe we see on screen, because they're not the same. A little hint, I'll give you their 1.64 difference, but whatever. You'll get the full defense. And then one of the coolest things that I found out is I found a way to figure out the cost value of each Federation starship. Haha. I will tell you how many warp nacelles they have. I will tell you what the optimal warp speed is. I'll tell you what the max warp speed is. And I'll tell you the emergency warp speed of each and every Kirk-era ship. So hold up, guys. Good shit is coming. Alright guys, so I'm going to keep it really simple. When I was doing these videos, I was looking at a Federation destroyer, I was looking at a Federation fast destroyer, and I was looking at a Federation interceptor. And they, from a side view, they look like they all have one nacelle, and I noticed that the one that has a mega phaser, it was, the optimal speed is warp 4, its mega speed is 7 and 9, and I was comparing it to the interceptor, which has 6, 8, and 9. And so I just assumed that because they have two warp nacelles and they are basically the same design, they look almost identical except for one has mega phasers and there's a difference, that was associated with the mega phasers. So once I acquired other data, I realized that the mega phaser situation is not a contributing factor to the warp nacelle speed. And in fact, I did not realize it because they look identical, but there are completely different warp nacelles inside the interceptor versus obviously the other ship. So the Catacon and the Swift, I had gotten all mixed up. So just so you guys are aware, so what I'm telling you, because it is somewhat confusing, is basically mega phasers don't have any impact on the actual warp bubble itself, which I thought it did based on the interpretation of the two different ships that look very similar. In actual reality, the mega phasers are on there. There's this additional component. The warp nacelles are actually completely different warp nacelles. They just have the same exterior look, but they're actually using different components. So for the most part, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but it's something I thought I would share with you. And basically, almost all Federation starships of this time period have the ratio of 4 is their standard, their max is 6, and the emergency is 8. Just about every ship can do that. That's basically like the gold standard of Federation starships during that time period. Okay, so something else I thought was pretty cool is when I was looking and learning about the Interceptor, I found out the Interceptor, it has 6 photon torpedoes, and I was thinking that is going to cause issues with its power output. It turns out that it says that ships use photon torpedoes obviously for attacking ships at warp speed, but the other reason that you would be using photon torpedoes instead of mega phasers and other phasers as the primary weapons is when you are at warp speed, the energy output to fire a photon torpedo is significantly less than the amount of energy you're having to use in order to keep your mega phasers or your phasers ready. So that's what the manual said, so they don't take away from the warp speed. So if you're in a situation where you're going warp, which honestly, you can't fire phasers at warp speed anyways. You're not supposed to be able to, so it's kind of, I don't know, an oxymoron, but that's what the manual said, so I just thought I'd share that with you. So yeah, so the Interceptor, it's one of the most powerful offensive starships. We'll do a full breakdown, obviously, at its own time at another time, but I just kind of want to throw it out there that I thought that was pretty cool. So you guys got some free information, and then you have to wait for the cool ass videos later.
Thank you for watching Trek Wars. If you like this material, please subscribe and make a comment. And with that being said, victory is life.